relationship with Dak Prescott. It was all done in what was described as a, quote, relaxed environment for 45 minutes with several Cowboys reporters. McCarthy also spoke confidently of the Cowboys situation, saying, quote, obviously, you want to win games, but I'm building a championship program. We're not just trying to win one. We're trying to win them all. So, Shannon, what do you make of this informal session with McCarthy?
Skip, why? Like you say sometimes, why would you tweet that or why would you go to social media? Why? You know how. Skip, I believe deep down Mike McCarthy believes that he's not the coach of the Green Bay Packers because Aaron Rodgers wanted him fired. I believe that's what deep down he said. Skip, when somebody says, oh, he's eclectic, what say he weird? That's another way to say he weird.
Aaron Rodgers. Talking about Aaron Rodgers.
He's a very intelligent guy. Well, he's a guy that's very condescending, that thinks he knows more than you, and he talks down to people. And why? Because inevitably it's going to go back, and guess what? They're going to get this, and they're going to go back to Aaron Rodgers. They're going to say, Aaron, did you hear what Mike said?
Yep.
Look, I played a lot. I don't know how many of these did Tom Landry do? Coach Landry. How many did Jimmy Johnson do sit down interviews, informal interviews, and just talk about? What is this, Mike? You're the head coach. You're the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Nobody cares about no relationship. They brought you there to win games. They ain't brought you there to be friends. Ain't nobody coming over your house to eat. Yep. And you're not sleeping in anybody's house. No, nobody want to have no drink with you.
Yep.
Jerry Jones wants you to win football games. Yep. Jerry Jones constantly talks about his football mortality and what he would be willing to do to hold that trophy one more time. And you up there talking about, man, I got a great relationship with Dak. I'm building a championship program. You ain't at Alabama. They build a championship program. You win championships in there. Man, see? You got exactly what you're looking for. Yep. Because you, for 3 years, wanted Jason Garrett, dubbed that man 8-8. Oh, Jason 8-8 Garrett.
Yep.
You wanted him gone. And now you got somebody worse.
I thought he was a made man.
He made.
Maybe Aaron Rodgers made him.
Yeah, you're right. Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers made him.
Okay, here is my theory on a team I know pretty well in the Jerry Jones era. This is what just happened. To your point about asking, did Tom Landry ever do this or Jimmy Johnson? I'm going to read again from the Dallas Morning News. McCarthy met with several Cowboys reporters. I'm assuming just the beat reporters who were there every day. The print, now digital print, but the print reporters,
right? One of the Calvin Watkins, I think.
Those, yes. Met with several Cowboys reporters on Thursday afternoon in a relaxed environment away from a podium or any video cameras. 45-minute conversation at the Star shed light on various general topics. What was going on here? I believe that Jerry and Stephen Jones commissioned this, perhaps on the advice of their PR director, Rich Dalrymple, who just might be the best there ever was.
Right.
Love him. He is.
Didn't Jimmy bring him in?
Came from Jimmy from Miami. And Rich knows how to play the game. And Rich has a job, so it's obviously often in conflict with the reporters. But
with the reporters actually doing their job.
Yes. But I believe that either Jerry, Stephen, or Rich came up with this idea, and then Rich executed it, obviously, to try to prop Mike McCarthy back up, because his credibility has been teetering at best. Am I right?
Oh, after Hard Knocks? After
Hard Knocks. What have you been all over? And I have second in your emotions his quote-unquote motivational speeches. And it was bad enough to see it in episode 1, but they led off episode 2 with yet another attempt before preseason game number 2. Another motivational speech in which it sounded like he was trying to get them ready to play a Super Bowl at Arizona against, this is just the second of 4 preseason games, against an Arizona who did beat their butts last year on Monday night at Jerry World. But it was awkward. It was ultimately embarrassing. It felt like Mike McCarthy in his motivational speeches is speaking a foreign language that he's not real comfortable speaking. So he's got to F-bomb it up to try to add some emphasis, and it just came off as completely unconvincing. And you pointed out they would pan to the players in the meeting room like,
what am I listening to?
I don't think they were exactly jumping out of their chairs.
No.
To go kick Arizona's ass. We ought to kick their... You do?
Oh, yeah, we played this team last year.
Yeah. What? Does this count, Mike? No, it doesn't count. So I believe this was their attempt to resell a coach that they were head over heels for after that all-night session in which Jerry Jones Jr. finally said to Dad, why don't you just go ahead and sign him right now?
Right.
It was 4 o'clock in the morning over beer and nachos. God knows, you know, like, and finally, Jerry Jr. says, just why don't you just do it right? Just give him a contract right now and let's sign him up.
Right.
And I think they pretty much did execute
basically did, yes.
Okay. So that's how sold they were on a Mike McCarthy who clearly had been out of football for a year. It's been a year at Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, I was doing all those analytics, and I studied all your tapes, and then when they got to the press conference and asked him about it, I'm like, well, I really didn't do that. I just wanted the job.
I just said that to get the job.
What the hell is that?
Okay.
Jerry should have said, well, you fired. You lied to me.
Okay, and unfortunately, Hard Knocks really does expose you. If there's something to be exposed, it gets exposed because they are living with you, and it's hard to defend Mike McCarthy that we've seen so far in Hard Knocks. And I am losing faith in him because he's my coach. And not that Jason Garrett was any master motivator, but I think Mike McCarthy is worse than Jason.
And that's the thing about camera, Skip. It don't make you better or worse. It makes you what you are.
Yeah,
it just captures it. That's it.
See it in action.
I mean, it can't add. It can't detract.
Nope.
It is what it is. That's what we Skip. When they say the eye in the sky don't lie, I don't care. It don't care if you're Aaron Donald or Aaron Rodgers or the 53rd guy. It just captures what it captures. And what it captured and what we heard is like, wow, that guy's a head coach.
That is correct.
An NFL head coach of your team.
America's team, right? And Mike McCarthy said yesterday that he's talking about his close relationship with Dak, and he said, obviously, you want to win games, but I'm building a championship program, said Mike McCarthy to the beat reporters. I can't tell.
Yeah,
right?
With that kind of speaking?
I can't tell. So then he goes into depth on his relationship or lack thereof with Aaron and what he learned from it that he has now brought to the table with Dak Prescott. And he starts off by saying, is my personality different than Aaron's was? Sure. He said, I grew up in Pittsburgh. He grew up in Chico, California. And then came the money line that you talked about. He's an interesting cat, he said of Aaron.
Weird.
He's as eclectic and intelligent a guy as I've ever worked with. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird, right? And then... But he says, but I think part of the way I handled the media in the past didn't help Aaron. I think that's part of the reflection that I admit to, that he's brought, you know, a new mindset to Dallas.
Skip, his handling of the media has nothing to do with the way Aaron Rodgers is wired. Aaron Rodgers is who he is. Aaron Rodgers didn't change the way he behaved because of the way you spoke to the media. You spoke to the media. You speak to the media. How you feel comfortable. That's how you talk. That's how you feel comfortable. You don't have great motivational skills. That's okay.
Yep.
But to say, Aaron, that what might have hurt your relationship is the communication that you had with the media. They have nothing to do with it.
So in the end, Mike McCarthy concludes that his father taught him that perception all too often is reality.
It is.
Well, unfortunately, on Hard Knocks, reality is reality.
Because you're not good at speaking.
It's just not perception. It's the truth.
Right.
It's behind closed doors. You are being exposed for exactly what you are and what you're not.
You're going to have to win.
Yep.
The perception was that that Coach Belichick helped make Tom Brady, and that Tom Brady couldn't win without Coach Belichick. That was the perception. Was that reality? That was people's reality also. Okay, now Tom Brady goes somewhere else. He wins. Well, Tom Brady, after all, he didn't need Coach Belichick after all. The perception is that Tom Brady made Coach Belichick. Is that the reality? Yes, until he wins without Tom Brady. That's just the way it goes. So until you start winning without Brett Favre, without Aaron Rodgers,